Risk assessments in health and safety at work. In this short lesson, we'll learn how to understand hazards and risks, how to apply our understanding to risk assessments, and we'll be able to risk assess a dog grooming salon. So, what is a hazard? The dictionary definition is something that could cause harm. So, what is a risk? By definition, it is a situation involving exposure to danger. When conducting a risk assessment, a risk is the chance of a hazard causing harm and the severity of the potential danger. What risks have you taken today? You have probably had a morning tea or coffee and operated a kettle. You may have eaten breakfast, climbed the stairs or travelled to work. So far, we've learned that a hazard is something that could cause harm, and a risk is the potential danger and how likely you are to incur an injury from the hazard. So go back to the previous slide of actions and identify the risk. What is the potential danger of carrying out each activity? Then decide if you are likely or unlikely to incur an injury from that hazard and allocate a high, medium or low rating. Have a think about what potential danger there is when carrying out each of these activities, and are you likely or unlikely to be susceptible to the potential danger? So, let's have a look, and did you come up with any of these? When boiling a kettle, you could be at risk of a scald or electrocution. When eating your breakfast, you might choke or receive food poisoning or even have an allergy. When climbing the stairs, there's the potential risk of falling. When you're travelling to work, there's the potential risk of an RTA, whether you're a driver, passenger or a pedestrian. Let's have a look at control measures. Control measures are actions to be taken to reduce or eliminate the risk. So what are the control measures for the previous actions? Let's take the kettle. The risk of scald is minimal because an adult should have a reasonable degree of common sense and should know not to put their hand over the steam or touch the sides of the kettle if it's made of metal. The kettle should be positioned at the back of the worktop where it's unlikely that a young child or large dog could reach it. The wire is coated in plastic to prevent electricity from escaping, and the plug is fitted with a fuse to prevent an overload of electricity in a faulty appliance. We have general guidance in place to minimise risks within the workplace, such as completing any necessary training before using a tool or piece of equipment. You should maintain all your equipment appropriately, have them pat tested, and check all equipment daily and before each use. You should always read the instruction manual and follow it. You should seek assistance where it's applicable or necessary, and always follow health and safety guidelines. You should alert others to any hazards, and you should also use things like wet floor signs. You should dispose or repair of broken or damaged equipment. A risk assessment could be broken down by areas of the salon and include the following areas: the bath, the table, reception area, kennels or the exterior of the salon as well. When compiled together, a risk assessment should look something like this. In the examples above, the control measures were reduced to become a low risk of injury, so they are to be reviewed annually. If the risk remained medium or high, you might want to review it more frequently based on the nature of the risk involved. All workplaces should have risk assessments on site and available for all relevant members of staff to view, and any relevant third party coming on site, such as contractors, insurance providers or the local authority. Employers or business owners are responsible for conducting risk assessments and implementing suitable and sufficient health and safety procedures. Creating a health and safety policy to make all staff aware of the relevant procedures is a legal requirement for all businesses. It is a legal requirement for all employers to display the Health and Safety Law poster, which outlines British health and safety laws and summarises the duties of staff and employers. It must be displayed in a place where workers can easily read it. Employers must also provide first aid kits. According to the HSE website, workers have a duty to take care of their own health and safety and that of others who may be affected by their actions at work. It is the employee's responsibility to attend training, follow health and safety procedures, and report any potential problems to the employer immediately.